Good morning and welcome to another video. Today it's the limestone quarries around Buxton, so it's some real heavy freight activity today. So this is Great Rocks Junction signal box. Certainly not an original Midland Railway one, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm Andrew and I'm passionate about railway photography. Today it's an exploration of the freight lines from here really up to Buxton and the limestone quarries. Hopefully finding some great locations, plenty of freight activity, and hopefully I can get some super railway photography. Now I'm waiting here for a Dowlow quarry to Small Heath GBRF load at stone train. Now it should slow down or even stop at this signal box to exchange the token from the single line round to Buxton, and then let's see how it gets underway with 2,000 tonnes of limestone. So from Great Rocks, it's a hike now up to a scenic viewpoint overlooking Tunstead Works. So we've just got a 5 or 10 minute walk up there, and we'll see what the view looks like overlooking the stoneworks. Oh, right, made the hike up to Tunstead Quarry. Now we're just waiting for, I think it's a freightliner from Tunstead sidings to Northampton, but not sure which way it's going to come. It's either going to come through the works or through the tunnel, so this is an ideal spot that can get both options depending on which way it's going to run. So it's a quick walk over to Topley Pike, looking for a composition point. It's somewhere. There's a train coming out of Buxton at the moment, so it's to find a suitable spot, and with little time, more climbing. So that was a dash up to the top of overlooking Topley Pike. We're waiting for a stone train coming out of Buxton, and it's 30 minutes early, so it could arrive imminently, or it could be another 30 minutes if it runs to book time. So it's just a hunt around for a composition, but you can see Tunstead Works in the distance there, and the curvature of the line, and I'm just hunting out for a suitable composition. I think I found the composition I like, which involves these rocks on this the edge of this steep, not so much of a cliff, but a steep hill. I'm going to use these rocks here as a foreground interest. Now I just looked on railcam. Unfortunately, it's a red 66 dB, 66185 it shows up as. So hopefully the red locomotive should stand out in the countryside. So it's a walk across the fields at Harper Hill, looking for a composition just outside the town. There's a Briggs to Ashbury's DB 66. Should be a nice red one. So in these dull conditions, we'll see what it looks like. But let's find a composition somewhere up on the top of this field. Well, that was a pleasant walk down into the valley bottom, but we're heading up there to the top of that to get the view of the next train out of Buxton. So wish me luck with the climb. This is the end of the gentle walk and the climb starts. And the climb goes on. Sometimes I think you've just got to put the effort in, and let's hope it's worth it when we get to the top. Well, it was a stiff climb, but the view from up here is pretty worth it, and a great view of the railway line from Buxton round to Tunstead. So I've pretty much settled on the composition. These great rocks in the foreground, the line from Buxton curving around, with the old Midland line forming a triangular in the bottom of the valley there, and hopefully the red Class 66 stands out against all the rocks and the greenery. Now this is a smashing spot. We've just come down off the top, and this is old Great Rocks Junction, where the Manchester to St Pancras line went off through the peaks, and this is the line through to Tunstead Quarry. So I've got the camera set up, and there should be a couple of trains through going up to Buxton and Dowlow quarries, but the bad news is there's no phone signal, so it's back to the dark ages, and it's just using ears to detect a train coming. It does make a smashing little shot here. I'm going to use the fence post as sort of a V to focus your eye onto the locomotive as it comes through the tunnel. Just wondering what the sun's going to do though, because it might just be in a little bit of shade, but it does make a nice shot, a really nice shot, and say use that V of the fence and the gate post to sort of frame the front of the loco. So it's turning into a busy afternoon. Not going to move from this spot because there's a GBRF that's on its way up. So look at recomposing and get another 66 coming out of this tunnel, and which is going to be along very shortly. So I'll recompose this one with the track running off to the left, and try and get the train just as it either comes into the tunnel or just comes out of the tunnel. Turned up quicker than I thought it was going to do. I was still fumbling around looking for a composition, so set the video camera up and just got that set up in time, heard some rumbling, and the train arrived. So there might be a shot. If there is, I'll put it on anyway. It's not a great shot, but it's a snapshot of the train coming around the corner. Anyway, we'll go find another spot and see where we end up in a short while. Right, it's back to Great Rocks Junction. I'm just heading up to the top of the tunnel above Tunstead. There's a couple of inbound workings, one into Tunstead and one going through up to Briggs. So two different shots from the same location, but another 10-minute walk. Back at Tunstead, on the edge of a cliff, there's another inbound up to Briggs Quarry, which is going to be running on the closest track. I just need to find a composition to try and get that. I'm trying to get the quarry and the quarry works in the background is what I want. I'm going to go hunt a spot now. I always wanted a 66 in the works at Tunstead, and the nice people at Freightliner have just stabled one there for me. What a fantastic day out in the Peak District this has been. Plenty of freight activity, just concentrating on the line between here, Tunstead, Great Rocks and round towards Buxton really, and incredible amount of traffic. Anyway, if you've enjoyed it, which I hope you have, always give it a thumbs up, and if you want to come along on more photographic railway adventures,